Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It is December 1st. It is the first day of Bookmas. I'm really excited. I have a lot of big plans and things that I want to share with you guys this month. I hope that things stay fairly calm and as I'm, planning for the month because I really want to make all these videos that I have planned. It might have been a little ambitious, but we're gonna give it a really good go. If you are a Christian booktuber and you're interested in being on my list of Christian booktubers in my description box, I'm just keeping it in there for the videos that I make during the month of December. So if you are a Christian booktuber and want to be added to the list, let me know. I started it off being like a list for all the people that were doing Bookmas, but then I realized actually, I just really want to build, the whole point of doing that was just to build a list of other believers, to add to my subscription list. And so that's actually what I'd prefer to do, is just like, if you're a Christian booktuber, you want to be on the list, let me know. If you're looking for more Christian booktube content, check out the list in my description box. It will only be there in December. And if you check it out and it's not there, let me know. I might have forgot to put it in. All right. Anyway, so Bookmas, number one, day one, I want to talk to you guys about the things that our family is doing for Advent. So we kind of do loosely, like, I don't know if there's a specific way that certain groups of believers do Advent. We just kind of do a loosely whatever. It's mostly just an excited anticipation leading up to Christmas Day, where we sort of just symbolically are, waiting and anticipation for the Savior. The cool thing about Advent now, as opposed to Advent 2,000 years ago, was that they didn't necessarily know when to start waiting. So they've just been kind of waiting, giving up, waiting, giving up hope, back and forth. But we, in our symbolic acting out of waiting for Christ's coming, we know he came, right? We know he came and we know he's coming again. So we kind of have an edge on those past Advent celebrators because they were waiting for, right? Like hundreds and thousands of years for their Savior to come. And we already know that he's come and he is coming back. All right, so this will be the first year that our family celebrates Christmas in 4 years. The last time we celebrated Christmas was Christmas of 2020. And then we just kind of took a break. We wanted to make sure that what we were doing for Christmas, or doing Christmas at all, was honoring to God. And we had gotten some information, regarding possible pagan origins and things like that. And we just wanted to be really careful and look into it. And so we spent 4 years just not celebrating Christmas and just kind of waiting and, seeing if the Father would change our minds, our convictions and our thoughts on the matter. And so about 2 years ago, we felt like he was kind of leading us to really look into the things that we had heard, right? Instead of just taking them at face value, look into it, really do a deep dive. And so I kind of did a partial deep dive, and then I got really depressed and bummed out about it. And so I think that was 2023. And so then I stopped. And then last year I was like, okay, I want to get to the bottom of this. And we did. We looked into a lot of different, things. And for our own selves and with our own research, we don't feel like the claims that we had heard were valid. And basically, and I don't want to go into, a bunch of theology and teaching and all that kind of crazy, because I've already done this with people, and it was a mess. But basically, bottom line is that I found a lot more evidence of the December 25th date being started with Christians and not started with pagans. What they did with it afterwards, is iffy, a few hundred years or so after Christ. But in those first couple of hundred years, it really looks like it was a date that believers were looking at before pagans were looking at. So all that to say, we are feeling pretty peaceful about celebration of Christmas this year. We're really excited about it. We just put up a lot of our decorations today, and tomorrow night some of our family is coming over to decorate a tree with us and have like a Bible study and just kind of chill and enjoy the beginning of the season. And tonight we actually started our Advent study. So what I did tonight was I sort of went over the information that we had found with the kids again. Last year we had gone over it and just asked the kids to pray about it and think about it throughout the year, and to kind of get some confirmation of what the Father was speaking to them as well about all of these things. And so tonight I just sat down, my husband wanted me to sit down and kind of teach again the things that we had found. And so did that and talked to the kids just about, history of Christmas from what we found. And then I talked about what Advent was, right? Because it's a word that, isn't super clearly defined, especially if you're like 12. So talked about Advent and just how, it's an exciting time for us to sort of model out the anticipation, the excitement, the waiting, to remember the state of the world before Christ came. We think about that song, O Holy Night, and it talks about a weary world and long lay the world in sin and error pining, and and then he appeared and the soul felt its worth. Like we realized, how very special we are to him and how much he loves us and how much he wants us to live right? And he just wants to help us in every way to live in a way that is right, because that, we will be able to live eternity with him, of course, but also just for our time here, just how much more fulfilling, how wonderful our life can be when it is a life devoted to him. And so we just kind of talked about that a little bit, and the symbolism of, even if December 25th isn't Christ's actual birthday, I don't think it's recorded anywhere, but even if it's not, right, it's still what a great time of year to celebrate, because of just the cold and the dark and the bleakness, and we don't feel what they felt, in those days, because he has come and we know that there is hope. But just taking some time to sort of remember that and sort of put yourself in that place, and just, it's all being symbolic, right? So I'm really into symbolism, you guys know that, and so I had a really good talk with the kids about all that. And then we didn't actually get to these books tonight because I didn't want to just be like droning on and on, right? They're like, Mom. But the books that we are going to start tomorrow, I picked out two, and I'm actually going to kind of just design my own lesson, but use these as sort of, resources. I pretty much do design most of the kids' schooling and like family Bible studies and stuff. If it's on a certain topic, I'm usually sort of writing, a curriculum or teaching for that. When you know your kids and you know your family, right, then it's a lot easier to sort of tweak things to what how they're going to receive it and how they're going to understand it. So the first book that I got as a resource, it's this, sorry, the light is shining in the darkness out here on my porch. This is The Dawning of an End. Sorry, I'm freezing. It's so cold out here. I think it's like 22 or something. But my family's all watching TV and being noisy, so I'm not here. Anyway, this is called The Dawning of Indestructible Joy by John Piper. I've never read anything by John Piper. And reading through these little devotions, I like the general sentiment. I like the general message. I don't necessarily like his personal commentary and his personal experiences that he's sharing so far that I've read, but I do like the general idea. So kind of using it as a base to build a study on. And I think kind of the overall gist of this is just making Christ really, really real to us. You know, getting past all of the do's and don'ts and the hoops and the, you know, all the stuff that some of it do need to be going through, and some of it think that we need to be going through and pushing ourselves through it. Just getting past like the, you know, good Christian part of being a Christian, and getting to the heart of a Savior who just really loves us and really just wants to spend time with us, who really wants an intimate relationship. He says, "This is my prayer for you this Christmas, that you would experience the fullness of Christ, that you would know in your heart the outpouring of grace upon grace, that the glory of the only Son from the Father would shine into your hearts, that you would be amazed that Christ can be so real to you." And I just thought that sounded so simple. It's just a tiny little book. And that just simple message of indestructible joy. I've talked before about how the past few years have been hard. But you know, we all go through hard seasons, and to have a joy that is indestructible, man, you can go through anything, right? If you focus on having an indestructible joy. And the joy that comes from our Father through his Son, Yeshua, Jesus, definitely, it's indestructible. The only one who can destroy it is us, right? And keep it from coming to fruition in our own lives. We're the only ones who can stop that. So it's indestructible unless we refuse to walk in it. So looking forward to that one. And then the second one, I found this, it just looked so beautiful to me. It's called All Creation Waits by Gail Boss, The Advent Mystery of New Beginnings. Each one of these little devotions has a woodcut illustration. This one is a chipmunk. And I'm really into woodcut illustrations lately. Here's a deer. I just think they're so neat, and what a cool talent to have, right? What a cool craft to learn. Now, each one of these has a story about an animal and kind of how they, I don't know, I think how they get through winter and how they are looking forward to spring. It just talks about how these wild animals, they adapt to the descending darkness and cold. And then it says that these little devotions, coupled with the woodcuts, reveal ancient wisdom of Advent, and that is that the dark is not an end, but a door. It's the way to a new beginning. I think that the symbolic messages in these little devotions is that, yes, that things can get very dark and very hard and very difficult, but there is hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is some, you know, when we walk through the hard stuff, we can come out with so much more beauty and growth and wisdom and maturity and understanding and patience and love for other people and all the stuff. And so I think that this author is using the stories of animals, how they prepare for winter, how they get through winter, how they maybe come out of winter into a time for them that is full of warmth and hope and all that, and then use those stories to symbolize that hope is available for us as well. So I thought my kids would really enjoy that with the drawings and things, the little illustrations and things. And then I thought some of us that are a little older and can follow the symbolic nature of the story a little better will really get a lot out of that sort of allegory. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So those are the two books that we are going through. So what we usually do is we have some candles on the table. We used to name them, like I think, I could be wrong, but I think like traditionally the Advent candles represent different things like faith, joy, peace. I don't know. I could be wrong, but in the past our studies would kind of be like each week represented a different thing, and then the candle would sort of correspond with that. Well, we don't, in these studies, they don't correspond with any candles. So we decided to just give them symbolic names ourselves. So I was going to put out like 4 candles. kind of like the same, like those little 4-inch, they're like that big around, and then they're like, you know, 4 inches high or whatever. I was gonna put 4 of those, but I could only find 2. So I put out 2 and I'm going to the store tomorrow to get the other 2. But, so I asked the kids, I was like, okay, so what, you know, should we call these candles? Well, because I have 4 teenagers and 2 young adults in the house, they're like, we should call it Jolene. So the candle's name is Jolene, but she represents patience. My 19-year-old daughter was like, why don't we use that one to represent patience? Because we have to wait so long, right? Because Advent, you know, it's all about waiting and anticipating our Messiah. So the first one really needs to be about patience, because that's the one that like is going to be sitting there the longest, right? And I was like, that's a great idea. So Jolene the candle represents patience. The second candle has already been named Jerry, but he has yet to have like a, you know, personality identity given to him yet. So we light those candles. The first week we light 1, the second week we light 2, you know. And then we do our study. And a lot of times we will sing. We just didn't tonight because, you know, I'm trying to remember everything and I forgot that one. So we usually sing a song, and like each week we'll have a different song for the week. So I think we're going to start with O Come Emmanuel tomorrow, because that's kind of everybody's favorite, and my son's family is going to be here, and like I know he loves that one, so we're gonna do that one. So we do the candle, the song, the devotional, talk about the devotional, goof off for a little bit, and then we have like one of those Advent calendars like from Hobby Lobby where you can like bust open the window and there's chocolate in there, right? And so everybody takes turns. Each night a different person does it. So we started from oldest to youngest this time because our second oldest is my son who's coming tomorrow. So we were thinking that he could do night number 2 if his kids are not, you know, ready to go home by the time we get our tree decorated and everything. So my oldest daughter did that, opened the little window, got her little chocolate out, and there's a Bible verse on the back of the window, so she read that out. And then everybody else gets like colored M&Ms. So my husband has like this massive bag of red and green M&Ms, and he gives everybody 2 reds and 2 greens. So everybody gets their little chocolate, and then like the Advent calendar person gets that and their, you know, little square from the calendar. And then that's it. That's what we do. So we have done it that way for, I don't know, well over 20 years, except for that little gap in there of the 4 years that we didn't celebrate. So it's been fun it was fun tonight to do all of that again, and the kids really enjoyed it. So that is what we do for Advent. I would love to hear about what you guys do, if you do anything for Advent, but there is a little bit of an idea if it's something you think you want to incorporate in. The Advent calendar, like the chocolate thing from Hobby Lobby, it's kind of more like a countdown to Christmas. It goes the 1st through the 25th. This year Advent actually started on November the 30th because it's like 4 Sundays, right, leading up to Christmas. But start now. It's okay to start a little late. Just start now. And even just reading from the book of Luke, I think someone was saying that they were doing that for their study this year because there's 24 chapters, and so you could read one a day leading up. So, you know, maybe do that, and or something. Just don't worry about it if you're a little late. Just do it. Like I was told in my young 20s, perfectionism leads to procrastination. So if you try to do it perfectly, you probably won't do it at all. All right, guys, I hope this was fun and inspiring. Happy Bookmas, happy December, happy Advent. I will see you tomorrow with another Bookmas video. All right, have a great day. See you soon. Bye.